Hello, my name is Nathan Etherington. I'm the Program and Community Coordinator here at the Brant Historical Society. On Archival Discoveries, we open new documents and discover something about Brantford's history that we didn't know before. Today, the topic of discussion is the Waterous Centennial. Okay, so let's see some of these Waterous Centennial documents. What do we have to tell us about this event? We have a notice to the plant owners and their families. We have some invitations sent about a banquet. We then have regrets, so some people obviously didn't come, and acceptances of people who did come. And then we have a centennial program that they had for the events, and then the centennial speech. So let's start first with this notice to find out what's being advertised about the centennial. Okay, we've taken the invitation out of the envelope. So we can see it's 1944, the year now that they're celebrating their centennial, and the date that they choose to celebrate is June 7th. So this is a notice that's sent to the employees and asking them for 2 times for tours, one in the morning from 9 a.m. until noon, and then another in the afternoon from 2 to 3:45. And at 3:45, they ask people to assemble in the main machine shop. They also note that because they're expecting a lot of people, they ask them to either park at the factory, the TH&B station, and they've also made arrangements with Massey Harris across the street to provide parking, as well as Earl Haig Park. Okay, so let's see what happened with the invitations. We have an envelope here, and hopefully this tells us something about what happened. So, in here we have an invitation to the reception at the plant at 2 o'clock. So that's leading up to the big celebration. Then we have an invitation here for 7 p.m. to the banquet. And then finally here we have an admission ticket that allows you to get into the factory. So then in addition to that, we have to have a list. So we're coordinating who's getting invites. Obviously, we have lots of members of the Waterous family. Up here, we have some dignitaries, so ministers, other Waterous family members, as well as the mayor of Brantford. On the second page, we have some other local prominent business people as well, including the Bellaccis, the Scarfs, as well as some people from the armories. So there's 2 of these, and then they go into the lists. So then they list everyone else that they want to invite. They note out-of-town invitations, and you see each of them has a number so that they could track all the invitees. So they're obviously inviting some people from out of town. So those have a whole series. It goes through the alphabet. Then we have other people. These ones aren't listed who they are, but they all appear to be in Brantford. So perhaps they're people that other business people in Brantford or people who worked with the factory at one time. And again, that goes through the alphabet. We have to remember that this is 1944 and the war's still going on. So they're also sending out invitations to family members who are in active service with the country. All right, so now we're going to look at some of the people who said that they were too busy to attend for the day. So we have a lot of local businesses and companies. We have the hospital, the Holstein Friesian, the school board, Canada Packers. We also had a plant along Alice Street that made piano keys and the actions or motion the levers for pianos. We also have here the treasurer for the city, Danby, declining to attend. The wartime housing, Penman's, Hartley Foundry in West Brant, as well as public health. So these are some of the companies and local organizations that were unfortunately too busy to attend. along with the Toronto Star. Okay, so some other famous people who sent their regrets. We obviously need to go through some dignitaries. So we have the Air Force, the Department of National Defense, and the Departments of Munitions and Supplies. So because it's, again, during the war, a lot of these partners are known to them. They're making materials for the war effort. So that may be one of the reasons why these people were invited. Then on the other side, we have a whole bunch of public office people. We have the Office of the Prime Minister with Mackenzie King not coming. The Department of Transport federally. We have the Ontario Supreme Court. They call them the Prime Minister of Ontario, which we now call the Premier. And then this one here is very hard to see. You won't be able to see it, but around here, there's a little raised embossing, and it's for the Minister of Agriculture, the Federal Minister of Agriculture. Okay, so now that we've gone through who wasn't there, perhaps we should talk about some people who did show up. So unlike the Globe and Mail, the Expositor did show up. The Cockshut Plow Company, because they're, again, a local company in the same kind of area. We have a Brantford Refrigerator Company, Press Company. Then we have the mayor coming, document from the Brantford Club up here at the top. An alderman calling to say that he's coming. The Tax Assessment Department from the city also attends. Then we have some more, a local engineer, Scarf Paints, which was just down the street, H.E. Mott. And then we do have someone attending from Mines and Resources from the federal government, as well as the Brantford Fire Service. Okay, let's have a look at the program to discover what actually happened when everyone got there. So we can see here they're also celebrating in Edmonton because they had a Western office out in to service Western Canada. So here we see them come to the plant for that open time that they talked about in the invitation. We have the program starting at 4 o'clock with God Save the King, which would have been appropriate at the time. Remember, this is before 53 when the Queen gets installed. We have a prayer addressed by the chairman, and then we have the address from the mayor, followed by some like awards for some people who have been around the company for a long time. And they made some kind of announcement for the employees. They then go on to the dignitaries' addresses. So we have someone from the Department of Munitions and Supplies did end up coming. We also have the Attorney General for the province of Ontario, as well as the Minister of Trade from the federal government. And then they close that up at 5 o'clock. They have a buffet supper in the gun carriage shop. Obviously still a name from the war. And then at 6 o'clock, they have other activities going on at Earl Haig. So you can see they have like some musical acts, an acrobat, and then they have a number of softball 3-inning games between a number of kind of local teams. In the early days of this company, before the advent of steam whistles, the triangle which I have just struck was the identical one that for many years was used in the morning as a clarion to announce that another day of activity was about to begin, and at night it was struck again to sound the close of another day. That went on year after year, and this triangle has become a symbol to the company of staunchness and steadfastness, of industry and of toil. It therefore seemed right and fitting that it should again be brought forth, so that all might hear its tone is as clear and resounding as it was long ago. The years have rolled by, but today is the same symbol as of yore. I am glad to pay tribute to its association with this company. This bell now hangs in the gift shop of the museum. We are known as a family company because Waterous from the beginning to the present have always been connected with the management. I believe the term family company has a broader meaning, For when a man or a woman joins our organization, he or she becomes one of the family. Their joys and sorrows are shared with the rest, and the welfare of the individual is merged into the loyalty and well-being of the whole, and we are one. The speech closes with, "Then of the morrow. Difficulties will certainly lie ahead of all industry in the post-war period, and the road of progress will at times again wind through the valleys, as it surely will on occasion. I hope and pray that we and those who follow after will have the same clearance of vision, purpose, and strength of soul that our forefathers had, and to strengthen, perpetuate, and extend this company, and those characteristics will lead us again to the crest of the hill, so that on the horizon of the future we will remain silhouetted in the vein of Canadian industry." Okay, so we learned quite a bit this week about the Waterous Centennial. We saw the original invitation that went out. We saw some people who came and some people who didn't. We saw the program for the day, and we read the original speech that was presented to people who attended that day. So join us next week on Archival Discoveries when we talk about Louis Burwell, land surveyor extraordinaire.